steady head down on my shoulder. You don't have to worry anymore. This old world is cold and getting colder, and I know how to lock and bolt the door. I'm strong enough to hold you through the winter, mean enough to stare your demons down. The hard times put the shine into the diamond. I won't let that keep us in the ground. I'm a riser, I'ma get up off the ground, don't run and hide her. Pushing comes to shoving, hey, I'm a fighter. When darkness comes to town, I'm a lighter. I get out aliver of the fire, survivor. If we ain't got no money, I can make it. I ain't afraid of working to the bone. When I don't know what I'm doing, I can fake it. I'll pray till Jesus rolls away the stone. I'm a riser, I'ma get up off the ground, don't run and hide her. Pushing comes to shoving, hey, I'm a fighter. When darkness comes to town, I'm a lighter. I get out alive of the fire, survive. Get down low so I can lift you higher. An army couldn't keep down my desire. Yeah, I'm a riser, I'm a get up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Stephen, and I had the pleasure of knowing Randy and being part of his extended family for the last 20 years. So I want to welcome you all on behalf of the Isham family as we gather together to grieve our loss and to celebrate Randy's life. There's a number of people who are going to join us today and share their memories of Randy. Before we get into that, I want to invite you all to join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to our first speaker, Bobby McLaurin. Bobby, if you could please join us if you head over to your right.
So, welcome everybody. My name is Bobby McLaurin. I wanted to talk about basically how me and Randy grew up together. We were basically attached at the hip pretty much all of our teen years. I was at his house constantly. I mean, people thought I was homeless. Dorothy and George would discipline me. Dorothy would smack me harder than my own mom would when we got in trouble, and that was a lot. We were always getting in trouble doing something nonsense, but it was good to be around. The couple things I want to remember about Randy was his sense of humor. He could have me and everybody in the room cracking up. His sense of humor, I would be crying in tears from the way he would make me laugh. It was ridiculous. And a lot of you don't know this, but he got his sense of humor from his dad. His dad would have us rolling. We could sit in the kitchen table and he could just have us laughing all day and all night. So that was a fun time with him. Like I said, he would always have me laughing. He had a great sense of humor. Another thing I'm always going to remember about Randy is his competitiveness. Growing up in South Phoenix, you either had to be a fighter or you had to be good in sports. And we chose sports, obviously. He was chubby, slow. I was a beanpole, probably 100 pounds. But we played basketball every day. We got very good at it. And we would be at Roosevelt Park playing kids from South Mountain High School, ex-college players, and we would beat them. We would beat them. And we would even, he had this amazing Larry Bird set shot, and I would do all the grunt work. And so, like I said, we would go to Roosevelt Park, we would go to Circle K Park, we'd be at the YMCA, we'd beat everybody. And it would be amazing, because like nobody would expect this, like I said, chubby kid and me and this little stick figure beating these guys. So that's another thing I'm gonna really miss about Randy. And everything was a competition, whether who could make the most free throws, who could hit the ball the farthest, who could win most games in ping pong. That's all we would do at Randy's house. Everything was a competition, and we truly, truly enjoyed it. Another fun memory that we had was cruising Central on the weekends. Back in the days, Randy drove a big old '69 Chevy. I had a little mini lowrider pickup truck, and then our other friend, Jeff Gonda, had a Trans Am, and we'd go cruise Central, and then we'd go to Gino's Pizza afterward and wolf down a couple big pizzas, you know. So it's funny because our favorite thing to do was to hang out at Gino's or get Jack in the Box tacos, or we would be at Pete's Fish and Chips. That's all we did in South Phoenix. Another thing I'll never forget about Randy was extremely hard worker, even at a young age. His family really taught me how to have a good work ethic, even at a young age. His mom and dad would wake us up during the week, have us shoveling horse pellets in the back with the horses. We'd be throwing hay, cleaning the fence row. You know, they really instilled a work ethic in me. And like I said, Randy was always a hard worker. His family taught me a lot of things growing up. You know, he worked hard. He loved his family. I remember when Brittany was born, he was scared, and he was young. But he always told me, he goes, I'm determined to make sure Audie and Brittany were taken care of. As we got older, unfortunately, we kind of went our own ways. I had my family and, of course, my job, and he got his family and his career going. But I know that he always took care of his family. I didn't get to know his other daughters very well, but I know he cared and loved his family very much. I have tons and tons of stories. I could be up here for 2 hours, but they were all great, and he'll be sorely missed. And my heart and prayers go out to the family.
Thank you, Bobby. Next, I want to invite up Eric Underwood on behalf of Dorothy Isham, Randy's mom, Diane Vasquez, his sister, and Cynthia Hayes, his sister. Thank you.
So I'm Randy's nephew, and I grew up with Bobby too. As Bobby, Scott, Mark, all three boys, like he said, they were always there. Ryan, Brooke, Brandy, we were always there at Grandma's house. That's where we congregated together. as a family. And it's very difficult here to be here thinking about, we're all no doubt in shock about what's taking place here. But I think about when I was a little boy, his relationship with his mom was super, super strong. It's one of those relationships that you growing up, you cherish to see that love between a son and a mom. And I never forgot that, being a young boy, seeing that, as he would tell you, as Randy, maybe he'd say, I learned, he goes, my mom taught me how to give, how to be generous, how to love. If you know his dad, he had those qualities too, but he was tough. He was tough. And we loved him for that, because the things he would say, that wittiness, as he mentioned, it was there. And he got a lot of good from both his dad, his mom, his work ethic. Randy and I, my father was in drywall, taught Andy, Andy taught Randy. So drywall's in our blood. And, ever since we joked around, since we were little, we had a drywall knife in our hand. We thank our family for that, because no doubt one of the last times I spent with Randy, not too long ago, he says, come on, let's go, I'll take you through the whole day. We'll check out the houses. And I knew the houses when I moved back from New York. I needed a job. So who did I call? Randy. Randy's like, okay, come on and work at this house. So he takes me over to this house, and Orlando was there. Randy loved this story, because he takes me to the house, huge house, monster house, all round angles, and he says, we got to sand all these angles. And I looked at it, and I was just standing around looking. He says, don't look at it, get on it. He goes, it ain't gonna get done that way. And so my hands were green. They haven't been sanded for a long time, so I started sanding and sanding. Me and Orlando and Jesse, remember, we sanded for days. I mean, Orlando and Jesse, they were used to it, but I wasn't used to that. I was bleeding. My hands were bleeding on the wall, and Randy would be like laughing. And that's one thing in our family, is if you get hurt, as long as you're not in the hospital, we laugh. That's what we do. We laugh. That's just an Isham thing that we do. We laugh. And he would laugh. And then so what I did the next day, I came in with some gloves, because I was bleeding. I couldn't even sand. My hands were raw. And then so I had my gloves on. He's like, gloves, where's your motorcycle? And he was like, and he never forgot. It was so funny. And so anytime I'd work, he'd just say, hey, let's go get some gloves. We got to go buy. So the sense of humor, like Bobby mentioned, it was just, it was, we love that about him. We love the generosity, the kindness. And he loved all of you as he was taking me out on these different jobs. He appreciated so much. He never took anything for granted. He appreciated so much the generosity from all of you, his coworkers and friends, and that took that interest in him. And we saw how much of a giver he was. So when we think about Randy, what's so special about Randy is, growing up, he was like an older brother to me. Think about the age, 6 years older than me. And just to be able to see his love that he was known for just continue to radiate with everybody, and to continue to do that, that stands out to me in the family. He loved his mom. He loved my mom, his sister Cindy, everybody. Every time we'd get together, we called it in our family the 50-50. Get ready for 50 questions. It'd be, how's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? And just that's the love and the interest he had for one another. So at this time, I want you all to please, we celebrate this day that we have, thinking about the good qualities, the wonderful things that he did. But in the same time, please, afterwards, please continue to call, be with the family, because no doubt that support's going to be needed afterwards as time keeps going on with this. So thank you very much. And again, we pray, and we're looking forward to the time that no doubt, like many of us, we're going to see Randy again.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Next, could I invite Brooke Patera?
I'm no speaker. You guys are going to be hard to follow. Okay. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Brooke. I'm Randy's niece, and I'm honored to be speaking about him. And my first memories with Randy go way back to playing baseball at Grandma's house with Papa's socks. When Uncle Randy said, "Go get Papa's socks," we knew we were in for a great time. He was the pitcher, of course, and we played on our knees, and we used our hands as bats. And if we hit the ball into Papa or Grandma's recliner, we made a base hit. If we hit the shutters and Papa yelled, we just won the World Series. He loved to play hide and seek. He had the best hiding spots ever. Randy had a way of turning even the smallest moments into the best memories. He loved sports, especially baseball and football, and that's where I got my love from football. I can still picture us watching games together, him making everything fun and laughing until our sides hurt. He gave me so many of those kind memories, the kind that stay with me for a lifetime. As time went on, Randy grew into many roles: a devoted father, a loving husband, a papa, and a proud, successful business owner. But what stands out the most is that through all, he never lost who he was. The same uncle who could turn a pair of socks into the World Series was the same man who could light up a room with his humor, his quick wit, and his generous heart. For me personally, I'll miss his phone calls the most. He was always there for me, especially during the hardest time after losing my son, Jackson. He called me one day and he said, "Brookie, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to find a license plate. I want it to say Jackson." I said, "But somebody has it." A couple weeks go by, he sends me a text and he's like, "I found the person who's got your license plate." It read Jackson. He was in front of the guy with the license plate. He never stopped reminding me that I was a great mom and how proud he was of me, and thanked me endlessly for taking care of Grandma. And that support meant a lot. Randy loved his family deeply and was always there for the people he cared about. That's just who he was. He was very special to a lot of people. He loved hard, supported fiercely, and could make you laugh no matter what you were going through. That's the Uncle Randy I'll carry with me, the one who's made life brighter, and the one that I'll miss forever.
Thank you, Brooke. Next, I'll invite Lance Patterson to the stage.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Lance. I sold Randy material for about 22 years. Great friends. Calling Randy as a customer, as a friend, and as a brother. He was amazing. We probably talked 2-3 times a day. And then we wait a week and then call each other again. But beyond the work, the guy that mattered, he loved his family. He loved his job. He loved doing jobs perfectly. And I was always there for him. I was on vacation last week when I heard about this. And it really made me sad, because I will miss him. He's been a brother, and I will see him again. I know that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lance. Next, we'll hear from Eric Workman.
Hi there, my name is Sherry, and I am Eric Workman's wife, and he's so honored to be asked to say a few words about his dear friend Randy, and I wanted to do that on his behalf today. We've known Randy for 20 years. We've worked together. There's not a better business owner, better business professional that I know. I mean, he was there's no one that took more pride in his work and loved his fellow coworkers and business associates more than he did. And it went way beyond business for us. Eric and he were great friends for many, many years. And personally, there was never a time that I didn't see Randy if I pulled up on a job and he didn't, run up to me and hug me and ask me how our kids were. And there was never a time that I talked to Randy on the phone or in person that he didn't talk about his sweet girls and about his 2 grandbabies. And Audie, he just was such a dear family man, and he never put anything above his quality and his family. But we will greatly, greatly miss Randy. But I just wanted to end with a funny story that we have lots of them. We've been, business partners for many, many years, but we had a client that was so terrible, and we all respectively referred to her as Satan. And one day I pulled up to the job, and I pull up and I see Eric and Randy standing there, and they're both just getting their butts chewed by this homeowner. I mean, she was furious. And I jump out of my car and I run over and I'm listening. And the only thing I remember hearing was Randy say, because he was so sweet, he said, "I really think your house is nice." But he was always sticking up for Eric, and he was a wonderful, wonderful man, and we will greatly miss him. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you. The next person to speak will be Rod Cullum.
I'm Rod Cullum. Randy and I did business for 20 years, and I see a lot of people in this audience that we've done business with for about this long as well. But the thing about Randy is his passion for quality, his passion for his word. You know, he was a guy you could do business with a handshake. Of course, we didn't, but you could do it with Randy. He would show up on the job on Saturdays and Sundays just to check the quality. And so a couple things about Randy I'll tell you. You know, we're here to celebrate his smile. I mean, this is the perfect picture of who Randy was. And we did business 20 years ago. He did a house with us up in Ancala. And, you know, he was a little green in the business. I was maybe 17 years into the business. I should have known better. But we had this house, and the patio lid kept cracking. And Randy'd come out there, he'd get his tools out and he'd fix it. And the next big wind came along, he'd crack again. And what was happening is the roof was lifting up and slamming down and tie downs and different engineering things, and it was a huge patio, almost the size, half the size of this room. And for like 3 years, Randy kept coming fixing that crack. And I knew I had my drywaller forever. And Randy worked on hundreds and hundreds of homes that we've done over the years with the same smile, the same passion, the same worry for quality. And we had often conversations about baseball and grandkids and how hard it was to run a business. And so I always talked to Randy about those things. And he had a tragedy in his business where he lost somebody that was working with him. And his heart broke. And I saw that, and I helped him through that. And to this day, it's the only day he didn't have a smile. So I know we're supposed to celebrate, and I do. I celebrate all the people he touched as he touched me. And he will always be missed. And I just am so proud that I got to do business with him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rod. Next, we're going to hear from Orlando Valle Pedroza Jr. on behalf of Orlando Valle Sr. Actually, it looks like... Okay, we're having both come up. Thanks.
Hi everyone, family and friends. I'm Orlando Valle. I've been working with Randy over 20 years. That was, to me, all the time, he treated me like part of the family. It's hard to say something. Always treat me like a family, and I know. I don't know, I guess.
Randy always said that we worked with him, not for him. And he always made sure that the guys at the jobs were always had everything that they needed, that everyone was good. Every Friday, he would call me, hey buddy, thank you for everything you do. He would call my dad, love you guys. And at the very beginning, I was like, oh, this guy's weird. And after that, I was just like, oh, okay, like, I started seeing him like a mentor, as a teacher as well, not just a friend and a boss. And he's done a lot for me and my dad. He's done an amazing job with the business, and there couldn't have been a better boss.
Yeah, I think what I miss to him, and every time in the morning, like at 4 o'clock, 3:30, he called me in the morning. Hey, that's what I want to do, stuff like that, That's what I miss now. The afternoon, they call me that, like if that's for the schedule for the next day. And now I can go to the patio and remember all kind of stuff. And I miss him a lot because all the time, we're part of the family. All the time we're together, You guys work for me. We're like a team. And I miss him a lot. Thank you.
Orlando, thank you so much. Next, we'll hear from Audie Isham.
Good afternoon. I'm Audie. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here today to honor and remember Randy. I know he would be truly humbled to see so many people who loved and cared for him who gathered here. Your presence is a testament to the impact Randy had on so many lives. Randy and I first met as teenagers. I was 14 and he was 15. And from the moment we crossed paths, I couldn't get enough of him. He was tall and skinny, had wavy blonde hair, sparkling blue-green eyes, and an unforgettable smile. What began as a young summer romance grew into a lifelong journey together. By 1990, at just 17 and 18, we were blessed with our first daughter. Even before we were pregnant, we had her name picked out. That's how Randy and I were. Passionate, spontaneous, and completely inseparable. We were different in so many ways: faith, culture, personality. Yet these differences became the threads that wove our lives together. We were each other's yings to our yangs. For over 30 years, we built a life filled with hard work, raised our daughters, and building Isham's Drywall, a company that still stands as a reflection of Randy's dedication and drive. Randy was hardworking, determined, and extremely proud of the life he created, both personally and professionally. Though Randy and I were no longer married, we remained united in what mattered most: our children, our grandchildren, our families, and the business we built. Even in the most difficult times, Randy's sense of humor, generosity, and unwavering pride in his loved ones never left him. I'm especially grateful that one of our last moments together was filled with laughter, teasing, and a shared beer, a reminder of the love that we always lived between us. Randy's passing leaves a space that cannot be filled. He was a father, a grandfather, a son, a brother, an uncle, and a great friend who should still be with us. He was taken too soon, and we will always grieve at what should have been. Today we feel the weight of Randy's absence. I encourage us to honor who he was: a wonderfully funny man with a generous heart, and to focus on the legacy he leaves behind: a family bound together by love, a business built with dedication, and a spirit that left an impression on everyone he met. Randy's life reminds us to cherish our loved ones, support each other in difficult times, and never take a single day for granted. That is how we honor him best. And to you, Mr. Randall Scott Isham, I hope your mind, soul, and spirit get the rest you deserve. We all love you, and we're gonna miss the hell out of you.
Thank you, Audie. Next, we'll hear from Malcolm Trevino.
Good afternoon. My name is Malcolm, and I had the honor of being Randy's son-in-law, also known as Brittany's husband. I've been in the family now for almost 11 years, and I can't believe it's been that long. And from the very beginning, Randy never made me feel like just a son-in-law. He welcomed me like a son. And over time, he became like a second father to me. And that's something I'll always be grateful for. the last couple of years, he often told me how proud he was of me. He reassured me that I was doing the right things. He reminded me often that Brittany and I are great parents. Those words meant the world to me, and they're something I'll hold on to forever. If you knew Randy, you knew he was one of a kind. He loved to laugh. He loved making other people laugh even more, and that was right up my alley. And I think that's why we hit it off so quickly. We really cracked each other up, though at times I'm sure we may have driven Brittany and Audie a little crazy. But beyond the jokes and laughter, what impressed me the most when I first met Randy and the family over a decade ago was just how close they all were. A tight-knit family. I remember asking Brittany, "You guys really do everything together?" He adored his daughters. He would call Brittany several times a day, sometimes to talk, sometimes just to check in, and sometimes for no reason at all. That closeness, that constant connection really stood out to me. He was outnumbered in a house full of women, and I always thought that was impressive. But truthfully, I don't think he would have wanted it any other way. Randy was also one of the hardest workers I've ever known. Drywall wasn't just his job, it was who he was. He built a life with his hands, his grit, and his determination. His work ethic was unmatched, and that was his way of showing love by making sure his family was taken care of. A role he cherished deeply was being Papa. He loved his grandkids with everything he had. He and Audie were always there for Camden's football dreams, whether it was camps, training gear, or encouragement from the sidelines. He believed in Cam. He adored Cam, and he adored Jax. They were his pride and joy. Brittany, your dad loved you so much. He and I had many long conversations over the years, and he always spoke so highly of you. He'd tell me, "Man, she's tough though, just like her mom." "She's a lot, isn't she?" And he also told me, "I never have to worry about her or the boys. I know you'll take care of them." He put a lot of trust in me, and that trust is something I'll carry with me. Audie, Adriana, Randy Lynn, I'm here for you. No matter the day, the time, the place, anything in my power I will do, and if I can't, I'll figure it out. We're going to miss Randy every single day. I'm going to miss those random Facebook and Instagram reels he'd send me. And I'll treasure one of the last messages he sent me. And he told me this often, but the last time, he said, you're special to me, and I always got you on every level. Well, Iceman, you're on a different level now. And I hope you still got me from up there, because I think I'm gonna need it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Malcolm. Next, we'll hear from Brittany Trevino.
You guys are going to have to listen to my sniffling the whole time. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to each of you for being here today. For those of you whom I've not yet had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Brittany Trevino, Randy's oldest daughter. The last few weeks have been a blur, a bad dream that I cannot wake from. a nightmare. As you know, this is my second eulogy in a little over 1 year. So I'm gonna try my best to get through this one. This angle is not helping the nose. As I sat down to write this, all I can keep hearing in my head is my father's voice. It's okay. Everything will be okay, Britt. Don't be upset. He hated to see anybody he loved upset. You've heard from his professional peers about all the business accomplishments he's done, his work ethic, his devotion to the trade. But my father was more than just the face and heart of Isham's drywall. My father was a special human. He was my special human. But don't get me wrong, my father worked from sunup to sundown almost every single day growing up. He showed me what hard work really was. He worked hard to make ends meet in the beginning. He worked hard to prove that he could do better. He worked hard to make his dream a reality. But he mostly worked hard because he truly just loved to work. The man did not know what relaxing was. To this day, the smell of freshly coated sheets of drywall will always be a comforting scent. I can still envision my father having to strip down to his underwear at our side door before my mother would allow him to come inside, as he was notorious for tracking in chunks of dried mud or dust from sanding all day. And we had saltillo tiles, so that was just really hard to get out. I can still envision every single one of his fingertips wrapped in white tape from sanding until they cracked and bled. Our house was always under construction, as he had to practice the latest and the greatest new thing: a hand-formed entertainment center, niches everywhere, Phoenician plaster, every kind of quarter bead there was. An empty wall in our Pinshot house hated to see him coming. He loved it. He also loved eating a cold sandwich standing at the kitchen counter after work. He loved an early weekend morning doing housework and taking a drive down to my grandparents' house, just the two of us. He loved driving with the windows down and country music blasting, constantly restarting the song before it could ever end. He loved a sweet treat at any point of the day. He loved getting a hold of your feet and popping your toes. Thought that was hilarious. He loved sitting back on the couch and has his grandbabies playing at his feet. He loved calling me 5 times a day to ask the same question: what's going on? How are my babies? How's Malcolm? He loved bringing his grandkids donuts on the weekends. He loved the color red. He loved seeing his grandson play tackle football while wearing his childhood number 15. He loved FaceTiming me during Jackson's jiu-jitsu practice to watch too. He loved how tough Jax is. He loved that Camden looked just like him and how sweet he is. He loved sardines on crackers. He loved buying every magazine a house we did was featured in. He loved to make you laugh. He loved so much. He made sure that I knew how much he loved me, how proud of me he was, how much he loved my husband, how proud he was watching our family grow and the parents we were trying to be. He would always say, "You're so special to me because we grew up together." And now my own internal voice just keeps repeating, "And we will never grow old together." I start to lose words when I think of the future without him, a future I cannot imagine. Even as I stand up here in front of you all and he lay before me, I have not yet accepted that future. This is the longest I've gone without hearing my father's voice, and it's slowly killing me. I will cherish the 35 years we had together, and not to take that for granted as my sisters got so much less. I will never forget that his, "Hey babe, I love you more than anything. Your dad always has your back, okay?" I will never forget his heart. I will also choose to never forget the hard times, the dark days, the struggles, the lessons, the hurt, the private moments, because it was through these moments I knew at the end he still loved us girls more than anything. I will miss his 5 a.m. "Good morning, sunshine" texts, something we started years ago as a way of checking in with each other. I will miss his sense of humor. I will miss his advice. I will miss his guidance. I will miss looking up into the stands and seeing him at the top, watching my son's football games. I will miss hearing that damn air horn go off every big play. I will miss yelling at him every time he handed my children a $100 bill for no reason. I will miss everything about him, the good and the bad, because it's through the bad you cherish the good that much more. Now to you, Dad. I promise to keep your love and every happy memory locked in my heart for forever. I promise to look out for my sisters, as you always ask me to. I promise to make sure your grandbabies and Wally visit you all the time. I promise to always remind Mom of the good times. I promise to never miss an opportunity to tell your grandkids a story about you or remind them how much you love them. I promise to stay humble and always help those in need as you always did. I promise I will try to be okay. I promise I will do my best to be strong. I promise to continue your legacy and build on the foundation you created with Mom. I promise to work my ass off to be at least half the worker you were. You were always there for me, even on your darkest days. And now it is time for me to be there for you, in place of you, for you. I will love you forever. B.
Thank you, Brittany. Next, we'll hear from Camden Trevino.
Hello, I'm Camden Trevino. Every single day when my papa woke up and when he went to sleep, my papa loved me. He always got me and whatever I would. He was a nice person and a best friend to me. He made me feel so loved. He always came to my games and never missed a game. I always loved him forever and will never forget him. I love you, Papa.
Thank you, Camden. Next, we're going to hear from Adriana.
It's extremely difficult for me to stand up here today and honor my dad in just words. It's the moments when I forget for a second that you're gone and then reliving the feeling all over again. There's so much I didn't get to say. It's so much I thought we had time for. And now I'm left holding back all the words I never said. Grief is strange. It sneaks up in quiet moments. A smell, a song, a thought. And suddenly I'm right back to wishing for one more conversation, one more hug, and one more chance to say I love you. I'm living in a world I no longer feel familiar in because you're no longer living in it. I miss the comfort of knowing you were just a call away. The pain of not having him here is something I'm struggling to put into words. I never imagined saying goodbye to you this soon. He was one of the most ambitious and loving people I knew. He always told me we were so much alike, and we really were. He always saw the vision in my dreams and kept me motivated. Thank you, Dad, for always being proud of me when I wasn't even proud of myself. My love for you is out of this world. You've never missed a second to remind us girls how much he loved us. Dad, if you can hear me, I miss you so much. I'll always miss you. Every single day. His personality lit up any room. He always had a joke ready before you even knew you needed to hear one. But underneath all his jokes, he carried a deep love and wasn't shy about showing how big his heart was for those around him. I'll forever carry your spirit with me in my heart, my values, and the way I love others. I could go on for hours about how amazing you were inside and out, but I'm not ready to accept the fact that you're really gone. Thank you, everyone, for all your love and support, for being here with us. Until we meet again, I will continue to make you proud. Dad, please watch over us, guide us girls, and know that we love you endlessly.
Thank you, Adri. Last, we're going to hear from Randy Ln.
Hi, everyone. I'm Randy Ln, Randy's youngest daughter. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone for coming and showing support to my family during this time. Today we gather to honor the life of one very special man, my dad. Most know me as Randy Ln or Randy, but to my dad, I was always Mama's. That was just his name for me. My dad wasn't just a dad, he was my best friend, my hero, and my #1 supporter. He would always be the one to crack a joke, no matter the place, time, or even who he was with. That was just who he was. Bringing a smile to others was something he did naturally. My dad taught me what it meant to work hard, to love deeply, and to never give up. He lived his life with determination, but also with so much heart. He poured love into everything he did, whether it was his family, his work, or the way he could brighten someone's day with laughter. I would wake up every morning to a "Good morning, sunshine, I love you," or "Have a good day, kiddo, I love you" text. He never missed the opportunity to tell me that he loved me, and those words meant everything, and I'll cherish those texts forever. One of my favorite memories with him was our car rides home from cheer practice with my sister. We would always blast the music, and it always had to be country, singing the lyrics on the top of our lungs with the windows down, thinking we were just so cool. And that memory is just one of the many reminders of what he did best, making sure his girls felt loved. And just recently, the last time I was at his house, I took a picture of Wally and joked that he was coming home with me because he wouldn't leave my side while I was there. So Dad, just know that Wally boy chose me, and I'll make sure to spoil him just as much as you always did. He had this gift of making even the smallest moments feel special, whether it was a quick text, a silly car ride, or laughing together at one of his many jokes. Even though I wish I could have more time, more hugs, more talks, and more I love yous, I know his love will forever be with me. I'll hold on to every memory, every laugh, and every I love you. I'll keep making you proud, Dad, and I'll forever be your mama's. I love you.
Thank you, Randy Lynn. There's a couple poems that Brittany and Adriana and Randy Lynn wrote that I'll read to y'all. The first one is titled, Dad. It's never the right time to say goodbye. We will miss you, Dad, and here's why. You taught us so much, to show no fear, to always have fun, and face the day with cheer. We hope you can hear us, so we can let you know that you were and will forever be our superhero. So please, Dad, go, be at rest, and know to us, you're always the best of the best. The second poem is titled, Father. F, family man, first and foremost. A non-rule follower, hard worker, and a friend to all. T, the one person who could always make us laugh, no matter the circumstances. H, handsome with those beautiful blue eyes, bear hugs, and huge smile. E, entrepreneur, encourager, extraordinary, and our everything. R, rest in peace, and know we will miss you every day, Dad. Love, Brittany, Adriana, and Randy Lynn. The service is coming to a close at this point, but please do stick around. There are some light refreshments if you head out and head to your left. I want to, again, on behalf of the Isham family, thank everyone for being here today. Thanks to everyone who shared their memories and stories. And we'll miss you, Randy.
The funeral home and the family are going to be removing the casket from the chapel. So we do want to encourage everybody to please go ahead. There's quite a feast of food ready to be with you. Of course, having a chance to greet the family, see the remembrance pieces. So the rest of the time is yours to be sharing with them. Oh, Mike, are you feeling better than I did? Not my idea.
think we should go that way. I said no.